You know what's a really important topic in real estate is property maintenance. Not just property maintenance, but in the contract.
Page 5 of the contract.
Both the as is and the regular contract. We are going to dive into that in today's video, so please stay tuned. All right, I'm going to read it from the contract. Okay. Page 5, number 11, property maintenance says, except for ordinary wear and tear and casualty lost, seller must maintain the property, including but not limited to lawn, shrubbery, and pool in the condition existing as of the effective date
of the contract.
Any initial thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, you have to maintain the property. I mean, you can't, if you have a pool, you can't just say, oh, well, we're going to cancel the pool guy now that we're under contract and not put any chemicals in there. And then, obviously when you go to the walkthrough, they have an opportunity at walkthrough to say, we're not closing. So, you want to maintain the property. You want to make sure the AC still works, the pool's serviced, and everything's done.
And you don't want to have issues arise where there otherwise wouldn't be any.
Correct.
Not to mention, what if the deal falls through, which is really rare, I will say. Like in my long career, it's very, very rare, especially up until closing, that a transaction would fall through. Maybe one or two in my whole career, I would say, would knock on some wood. But it does happen, or the possibility would happen if, they do a walkthrough, like you said, or even prior to the walkthrough or during inspection or whatever. Like, it could be the littlest thing, like leaving the grass unmowed, and it just looks bad for the neighborhood, for the values of the neighborhood, makes your neighbors upset.
It also opens up the door for the buyers to come in and say, well, look, the lawn hasn't been maintained over the last month. We're going to have to get somebody in here. And what would normally be, $100 to mow a lawn, for them to say, well, we want $750 because it's a mess. And, of course, it's not going to cost them $750. Like, you're just opening up the door for problems.
Box.
Yeah, so
don't give them a reason to nitpick. And that's what buyers will do.
Right.
I'm not picking on you buyers, but maybe I would do the same. Actually, I did this on a property I bought last year, my little renovation project, the rental property.
Yep.
At the walkthrough, I noticed that she just left the lawn, and I was like, no, I was adamant to have her pay for the lawn because it was noticeable.
Right.
So it's a small thing, but to a buyer, just leave it the way you maintained it.
Well, buyers don't want to come in and on day one, the grass is a foot tall and now they've got to go get somebody, right off the bat, they're immediately spending money.
Right.
So I just think that, you have to take it, you have to get yourself in a position to think about, well, if I was buying this property.
Put yourself in the other person's position.
And if you do that, you shouldn't have any issues.
You'll be fine.
Should be fine.
And outside of that, to me, the lawn seems minor compared to a roof.
Or the roof, or the pool,
or had one.
I had one where
without disclosing where, but this is.
We had a roof leak, so we go to do the walkthrough 2 days before closing. There's a roof leak. They go to repair the roof leak. Of course, they opened it up. There was mold, so the mold had to be mitigated, and so they patched all of that up. And we went to go set the new closing date, and the new closing date was the day the hurricane hit.
Last year.
And so then from the hurricane, go back after the hurricane, there was another roof leak. And so, and to make a long story short, my buyers said, we want a new roof. The seller said, we're not putting a new roof on. We'll give you a credit. The whole deal fell apart.
This was a big dollar.
It was big. It was
item.
Yeah, I don't want to give the dollar amount.
It was a six-figure.
What was a seven-figure property?
Six-figure property maintenance issue.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a $100,000 issue.
It wasn't pennies. It was a big deal. Now the seller didn't do that intentionally. That happened.
Right.
We don't think. We assume it was.
No, he was very. Look, the seller stayed there the day for the walkthrough, and as soon as I got there, he took me right to it and said, look, I just got back in town. This is here.
Yeah.
So he was it wasn't the sellers trying to do anything, weird. It just happened that when it all played out, the buyers walked away.
And it was good that you were there. And this is another, a value to have boots on the ground, because we do work with so many people that are not here, and they do ask us to FaceTime, or just they trust that when we do a walkthrough for them, that it is in good standing.
Well, and one of the things that I know I'm getting off on a tangent here, but like one of the services that we both have provided our clients is post-hurricane, we will go
Oh
back and walk
yeah.
through the properties to make
Hmm.
sure, because most of our clients are not full-time here. And so we will go back and check on the properties. But from a maintenance standpoint,
Yeah.
you want to know that, that the property's been maintained.
Yeah,
So.
speaking to that actually, which is important because again, we're here and we're very proactive and we care about our clients, we care about our properties that you have. So right after Hurricane Ian, I beelined it up to a Longboat. I knew that some people were not really here full time; they were here very part time. And one of them had a window that was literally, it fell off the second floor, almost like the wind just placed it.
Oh, wow.
And I called a client and he was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know. And
Right.
like that could have created further issue with,
Well, it sat there for a month.
water
Yeah.
intrusion. And then you've got mold, a bigger issue,
Right.
drywall, and a very extensive property maintenance issue. So that's just stuff that we love to do. And
Agreed.
we do care about our individual clients. So,
Yep.
and then AC issues, like
AC.
maintaining, if you have a maintenance contract with your AC company,
Have them come.
just because you're under contract,
Right.
just keep up as if
You're keeping it.
you're almost not going to close. And that's maybe not the way to think of it, but in just to look at it from a doomsday perspective, because things do fall through. Keep up with those maintenance contracts.
Mm-hmm.
The AC is a big one.
It is.
Especially, I mean, right now we happen to be filming this in the summertime, which is the worst time to have an AC blowout.
Well, you don't, again, you don't want to go through the walkthrough. It's the day before closing. Everybody's expecting to close. You've probably moved out of the property and you walk in and the AC doesn't work because you didn't want to do the last servicing. Like it's better just to do it and take care of the servicing.
All right, and basic cleaning.
Clean. You got to keep the place clean. I mean, come on.
Work with us.
All you're doing is if you don't clean it, all you're doing is begging for the buyers to come in and say, I want a $250 or $300 credit at closing because the property is filthy.
And is this how they maintain? My question would be, in my head would be, is this how they really maintain the inside of the house, like the plumbing? I mean, little things that go wrong add up really quickly. Is this how they maintain the rest of their house?
That's a good question.
Have they had tiles missing that we didn't catch? Like just little things that do add up in terms of cost.
Agreed.
That's how the buyer's mentality is. And I mean, do you blame them?
Nope. No. So just, I mean, you want to maintain the properties as if you weren't closing. So
I think this is just one of many line items in the contract that are very important to know. And it is through trial and tribulation that we've learned some of these line items more than others, right?
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
When you have experience and knowledge in a marketplace, I think it's really, really important to know the two contracts.
Right.
And then how to advise your clients. And that's what we're here for. And we can't necessarily interpret the contract, but that's why we have
attorneys. And generally speaking, we both kind of tend to use title companies that are attorneys. So
or have affiliation.
Or have an affiliation. So we can certainly recommend attorneys here in town. We have plenty that we work with. So
we hope you found that to be helpful. If you have questions about either Florida as is or the regular FAR bar contracts, let us know, or any property maintenance issue questions that you have. And also, we're looking for anyone who's thinking of entering into the market, whether you're a buyer or a seller. Mm-hmm. We work a lot of area here. Where do we work?
From Manatee all the way down to Charlotte County. So we're really kind of North Bradenton all the way down to Port Charlotte. So yeah,
we love what we do. We love meeting the neighbors, getting to know you as a client and what your needs and wants truly are. And for buyers, we like to look and find properties that are not even in the MLS, right? So we will, if we have a loyal client and they're not finding what they are looking for in like the MLS or we will go and find it for you.
Yep.
So we think outside the box. And last but not least, we're really excited. We're going to be in a magazine coming up.
Real Producers Magazine. Yeah. So I'm in the July issue. I think you're in the August issue.
I'm either in the August or September. It's called Real Producers Sarasota. So we actually just had our photo shoots, our write-ups
and our interviews done. Yep, it was good.
So find us on social media. I'm at Real Shayla Twit on my Instagram. And you don't really do Instagram.
No, I'm more Facebook. but I'm not really on there.
Yeah.
The best thing to do is to call me on my cell, 941-586-2460. You can find me on Facebook. I'm pretty active on
You're active on
Facebook.
Facebook.
But that's pretty much it. I do have a YouTube channel, but it's not anywhere near as big as Shayla's.
We're trying to grow it. We're
Yeah.
trying to put these videos on your YouTube.
We are.
Find Andrew Reset his YouTube. And reach out to us if you have any questions about the equity position of your home, too, if you're in the area.
Yep.
And you can reach us at shaylatwit.com as well.